Hey everybody, and welcome back to another exciting episode of the VOD Squad, the show where we talk about streaming technology. This is episode 208 on 11/11/2020. I am Clyde, and today I am joined by Matthew Ross.
Hello, everybody.
Jimmy Trammell.
Hey, guys.
And Jimmy, let me just say to you, Happy Veterans Day.
Oh, thank you, and happy Veterans Day to you.
Yeah, I had no idea it was even Veterans Day.
You didn't?
I didn't know until I got kisses via text from my brother-in-law.
Okay.
It was like, I figured at first I thought, oh, maybe he was like making a whistling face or whatever, but it was like the puckered lips. And I because it was sent to me and my brother. My brother also served. And I responded with kisses ? And the thinking face. And what did he say? He said, he says, yes, I just love you guys so much, with a weird face. So, yeah, happy Veterans Day, everybody out there that has served, and,
Indeed. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you for your service. Today, I decided to wear this shirt, which is a Hawaiian shirt. And it's actually one I got at Pearl Harbor, and it's got like the Arizona and the Missouri on it, and it's a really nice shirt.
Is that why you're so cold?
Yes, because Hawaiian shirts breathe really well, and it's really cold.
I thought you meant because you're in a Hawaiian state of mind.
No,
and your body isn't happy with the.
I put this on. And it's like, I haven't worn this, and it's a nice shirt, and it would be nice to wear it. So I put it on today, and it was cold today, and so it's like, but that's all right. So
yeah, I mean, I'd rather be there. There's snow everywhere. We had a blizzard yesterday.
Yeah, it's just rain for the next 10 days here, so it'll be all right. Today was a nice day, but after that, it's going to be rain.
Yeah, and the air conditioners are not running all night down here.
Oh, Florida. Oh, Florida.
It's crazy down here, Matt. It's crazy.
I know. It's just it's like the crazy uncle of the United States. You gotta love him.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say. Should we talk about news?
If we have to.
We do not have to. We can actually continue talking about weather and crazy parts of our country.
We can continue talking about Florida.
Florida, absolutely,
hey,
and where it's warmer.
Squad is now the show where we talk about Florida and Florida-related technology.
In a Florida Man news, I could actually see us do a Florida Man news episode. That would be hilarious.
You just read the police blotter.
Yeah, because they have to call it by Florida Man. That's where that came from. Yeah. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Roku. Roku has announced that they are rolling out their newest version of their operating system, version 9.4, to many of their devices available today. Everything from their streaming stick Plus, Roku Premiere, one of the Roku Ultras, and many of their Roku OS TVs with the Roku OS. This is the update that's providing a lot of the cool Apple integrations. This includes AirPlay 2 and HomeKit interoperability, so you'll be able to have more control of your Roku TV devices with your Apple Home setup.
Yeah, so this is one of the things where I often forget I'm a beta tester. And then I hear people going, hey, 9.4 is here. And I'm like, so? I go, oh yeah, you haven't had it for the last 4 months.
Oh yeah, isn't it great? Yeah.
I
What
mean,
was it?
it's stable.
Yeah.
The big things from it, like AirPlay 2, are things that I don't use. So I guess, hooray! I mean,
Yeah.
I'm always on the side of more features, and more accessibility. So there's somebody out there, like maybe if Jimmy were to get a Roku now, he
Well,
would have a better experience.
yeah, I mean, think about it in the other way around too. So, like, if you happen to be the owner of HomePods,
Mhm.
right? You could use your HomePods as a speaker system
Yep.
to your Roku now,
Yep.
right?
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, that is a cool feature.
Yep. Like I said, I don't personally have a use for that, but I'm sure there are hundreds of people that do.
Probably
now,
more than hundreds.
The Roku speakers and all get this as well. Is that right? So if you had an Apple TV and wanted to use the Roku speakers for your sound system, you could do it that way too, is what it seems like to
Yeah.
me.
Potentially. Although that's a scenario I find hard to believe. I could see where someone with an iPhone uses a Roku, but someone with an Apple TV that wants to buy the Roku speakers.
But what if you had a Roku TV?
Yeah.
And the Apple TV?
Yeah. Okay.
Right. I mean, I mean, you're right. That's probably.
No.
Really,
I'm not saying I'm not saying that nobody out there would do it.
no,
I was. Yeah.
but to your point,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, okay, you're going to buy a Roku TV. Okay, that's plausible. And maybe they also have an Apple TV that is also plausible. But yeah, but maybe they like the Roku TV. They like, hey, I'm going to get Roku speakers. I know, hey, now with the AirPlay, I can actually use those speakers from my Apple TV now. I mean, how many people actually own those devices and it lines up that way? Yeah, it might be a small number, but
Sure.
but still, I mean, it gives you that.
But it's
flexibility.
a possibility, and that's what's
Mhm.
awesome.
Yeah, it's the flexibility is what you're getting.
I dream of the world where everything just works with everything.
Yeah. And
That-
this is a step in that direction.
That is an amazing dream that major companies will wish to crush, and they'll tell you in multiple ways that our stuff only works with us.
Yeah.
Yay.
Remember DONA?
Yeah, that actually worked with everything.
It did, and everybody,
Yeah.
nobody used it.
Yeah, RSS is supposedly going away, even though it works with everything. I just hope HTML doesn't disappear. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, HTML is going away, being replaced by Flash 2.
Flash
Oh no, let's not. No,
And
no.
Flash 2 is just a reskinned Flash original.
No, that's not. No. It's a reskin of ActiveX, obviously. No. So let's move on. We have a Tableau device announced here. Tableau is, of course, one of those boxes you can connect to your an over-the-air antenna and have it record stuff for you to stream then to another device, like a Roku stick or a Fire TV stick.
It acted kind of like a network attached storage that
Right.
was connected to your antenna.
This model is unique because it is the Tableau Dual HDMI. It is a dual recorder, just like many of their other models out there. But unlike many of their other models, it is designed to be connected directly to your TV like a set-top box and allow you to access it, to access the videos stored on it that you have recorded directly through its built-in interface. This is also designed in a way that if you just are capturing over the air and connecting it to your TV, it doesn't necessarily need internet. I mean, you won't get necessarily things like the guide or anything like that without any internet, but it will be able to pick up the over-the-air signal and do everything locally where it doesn't rely on that internet. This is actually, if you ask me, a step in the right direction for Tableau. They should totally be doing this with all of their products at this point forward.
Okay. The reason I'm laughing is because the thing that makes this unique is the fact that it's a traditional DVR.
Yep, exactly.
But
You are
I
so
mean,
right. I am describing what used to be called a DVR. You're right. I
it's
apologize.
it's literally a traditional DVR, and that was their step forward.
Good job, Tableau.
This is one of those things they should have been making all along. That yes, the network attached one that you leave in a closet someplace and you can stream it to your TV. That's great, but it's not great for everybody.
Right. This is because it'll
Anybody
do
can
all that.
use this.
Right. And it doesn't need internet. That's actually really
and
awesome.
also it doesn't need internet. So good job, Tableau. I mean, you spent all this time trying to say, hey, we're different, and then you finally realize that, wait, maybe what people want is not different.
Well, they got me. They made this brand new feature. They literally appled me with this. They literally sold me a new feature for something that was been around forever, and I went, "That's awesome, totally cool. Only $150. You know, this is pretty cool. I think it's a good." Yeah, they appled me. That was I don't know what would they call that? Would you call that Steve Jobbing?
No, I was gonna say they bamboozled you or
Yeah.
But still, it's not a bad product. I'm just all I was scolding them for is why'd you wait so long?
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the $150 price tag?
For a device like this, I think that's depending on the
Typical.
storage space. Then yeah, but I mean, you can support up to 8 terabytes on this thing. It really depends, but I don't think it's that far out.
So it supports external hard drives, so it doesn't
Oh,
come
yes.
with an internal hard drive?
I believe it comes with internal storage. The internal storage, though, but I believe that there's a very small amount. What you'd end up having to do is you want to take your external USB drive and plug it into it, and anything will do. Nowadays, any USB drive is fast enough to record, you know, 4K essentially if it's being compressed on the device before it's being sent to disk. So it's not a problem.
Yeah, with an 8 terabyte drive, you can do up to 1,000 hours of HD TV recording. So,
Do they make an 8 terabyte thumb drive?
Maybe soon.
Well, you know how I've seen 4 terabyte, like 1 terabyte thumb drives easily, and I think I've seen a 2.
Well,
So
I was going to say, look
exist.
how small M2 is, you know, and you can get multi-terabytes on that. It shouldn't be long before you can. I'm just waiting for when I can get a terabyte of storage on this. These are my favorite USBs because you can stick them in the device and just leave them.
Right.
They barely stick out.
My problem with those is that I stick them into the device and then I forget about them.
That's the other thing.
I like it. I like it to stick out a little bit more, so I go, "Oh yeah, it's there." But you know, also, there are some USB ports that you plug those things into, and they're sunk in just the right amount where you can't get them out without like something to pry it. That's annoying.
You know what? I haven't looked at these things in a long time. So like a terabyte USB drive, little thumb drive, you can get it for $17 on Amazon.
A terabyte?
No, I don't think that's a terabyte.
I don't think so.
Or it's not a reputable.
It's gonna be like $200, $300 for one, I think, right now. Yeah, and also, just so you know, they do sell devices that say, and even plug in a reports being a certain size, and then you hit the actual limit, at which point it craps out on you. It happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've got those.
So let me drop in the chat room. Do you think this is a fraud?
Oh, we're gonna.
Sorry for the long URL.
Wall of text. 1 terabyte metal USB flash drive, 1,000 gigabyte thumb drive, pen drive, waterproof memory stick with keychain.
Look at the name.
Silver.
The name is Wang Ding.
And it's USB 2.0.
I didn't say
2.0.
it was. I didn't say it was a great,
No. I'm saying
Brand
it's
name
right
or
there in the
anything.
name. You give them your money, and then they ding your wang.
Yeah, Wayne. Well, that is a cool name, Wayne.
Can't save
Yeah,
all
this one looks
fires.
super sketchy. What's the
More trouble than it's
ratings?
worth.
So, all right.
Look at the the ratings.
I believe this item is a fake. And you have some, not reliable, too good to be true. It is. And in German, of course. Read the German one. I wonder what that one says.
Hey,
I know.
We'll have Jimmy
Jimmy.
read. We'll have Jimmy read that one to us in the
I
post
can
show.
read that one. Yeah.
It transfers at 1 byte per second.
That'll take a
1
long time
byte
to get to
per
a
second.
terabyte.
Yes. I'm no
Oh,
math
that's-
whiz, but 1,000 seconds.
So how many hours of HDR would that give you?
Not many. Not many.
It's made of spiritual material, very robust.
Oh, that's
Pixie
hilarious.
dust. The pixie dust USB drive.
So you send them the money and pray that the product works as expected, because it's all that spiritual material.
All right. So moving on, YouTube Premium members. You know, those guys who actually pay for YouTube so they don't have to see the stinking ads in the United States and UK and in Canada. It will soon be able to. Well, I guess United Kingdom and Europe are different, and Europe as well. Claim a free Stadia Premier Pro bundle. What this is there's a link you can get to and I've actually seen the link, but I didn't fill it out yet, where you can say, yes, I'm a YouTube Premium member or YouTube Premium family member, and they will send you the the Stadium Premium Edition bundle, which includes a Chromecast Ultra, which is the 4K Chromecast design, which is able to do the streaming of the 4K version of Stadia, and the Stadia remote. And supposedly, I think the premium bundle also is supposed to have 3 months of the Stadia Pro as well. For free for being a valid customer. There are some terms and agreements that must be followed. Like, for example, you have to have had YouTube Premium like since November 2nd and things like that in order to get it. But yes, you can. You will be able to sign up with this, and you will be able to get, and you will have to at least pay for 1 month of Stadia, which, you know, actually it's a good deal if you want the. Try out if you're already a YouTube Premium member and you've been looking at this is a great
This is a no-brainer. This is an absolute no-brainer. If you are a premium subscriber, get your free stuff.
Right. I'm probably going to be signing up for this tonight, making sure
they were very smart in putting in that restriction for subscribers, because they would have had me signing up for premium tonight. You
don't have premium. You watch YouTube with ads?
No,
or do you use an ad blocker?
I use an ad blocker. But which is why I always thought it was because I use YouTube TV. I always thought that you got the YouTube Premium as part of that, and then I watched YouTube in a different browser and was like, "Where'd these ads come from?" I went, "Oh, ad blocker." But what I was gonna say is, on the surface, this is cool. Give out that free stuff, but also I'm wondering, what is the motivation? They're giving away essentially $100 worth of stuff for free. Why? I understand, because if you give them the stuff, then there's a likelihood that a certain percentage of them will continue to use Stadia.
Correct.
So is this an indicator that Stadia isn't going as well? Or is it an indicator that Google being Google, they've got all this hardware that they no longer want to support, and they're just trying to get rid of it?
I think it's more B. I think they've already introduced the Google TV stick. Then they've already said that like in January it's going to be supporting Stadia. I bet you they're leaning that way now, even though that they have had the Chromecast Ultra for a while now. I think they are now looking at those Chromecast Ultras and thinking, we got to get rid of these. And I bet you also that they may be working on new, or if they, either a new batch or minor update to the current remote control, or a whole new remote, no,
So,
whole new controller. So
I will make a
that's a
plea
guess.
to anyone out there that is a premium subscriber and they don't care about Stadia. I just want that white controller. I like that white and orange controller. So if you if you're not gonna get the Stadia thing, request it. Let me know. We'll work something out. You stand to potentially make a couple bucks.
Is YouTube Premium worth it?
For some people.
So YouTube Premium essentially gets you two things. One is no ads in anything YouTube, which is convenient, especially if you really hate ads. And YouTube ads have started to get a little crazy
Obnoxious.
sometimes. Yes, but also if you buy the family plan of what used to be Google Music and is now YouTube Music, it does include YouTube Premium as well, which is basically how I get it.
Yeah.
I get both of those bundled together for $15 a month, and
So what,
I give
what's just a standard YouTube Premium?
no ads. They used
No,
to also
I
include.
think it means what does it
The
cost?
price.
What's the
What's the
good
price?
question? No, it's a good question.
Is it like $10 or something like
No,
that?
I bet you it's like 8.
Yeah. So the way I get around that is I use an ad blocker and Spotify.
$12 a month.
Holy damn. That's more than Hulu with no ads. Or it's the same
is it
price as
worth
Hulu
it?
with no ads.
Man, that's more. That one service is more than Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus combined.
It's
Right.
more than I pay for Funimation Now and High Dive combined. And that's two different services that I watch way more than YouTube.
I happen to watch a lot of YouTube, so I can understand.
So you need to get that. And
I will. I intend to. I definitely intend to get that. That's one thing I'm looking to look forward to. Hey, do you have a Sling box?
wait. Oh, you mean Sling TV?
No. Sling TV is the ability to stream internet TV to your device.
Yeah, which
Sling
was started by
box.
Slingbox back in like the mid 2000s.
Yeah, and then they got bought by Dish, right?
Something?
Yeah, they did get bought to Dish. I remember because when I remember when I had Dish, I actually got the free Sling attachment to my Dish,
Yeah,
so I could then sling my stuff from my Dish DVR to my other
I remember
devices.
Slingbox wasn't a box, but then they dropped that name when they stopped manufacturing the box side.
Yes, and
Several
they
years
actually
ago.
had several Sling boxes, which would give you access to anything you could plug into it. Essentially, I know people who used it to literally plug a PC into it, so they could remotely access
I
their
want
home
a
PC.
Slingbox to plug in my Slingbox so I can sling my Slingbox over my
Yo, dog.
Slingbox.
Anyways, so it's been been available, and people have been using these for years now. And unfortunately, it looks like the box they actually were selling them still until just recently, where they've
What?
now discontinued them. I know, and it looks like they made the decision that they are going to be taking the servers down, which are required for you to use them in 2 years. The good news is they're giving you 2 years notice. That's actually not so bad. Bad news is so long to all the Slingbox and all the people who are using them. Your use of using this amazing, useful hardware will be missed, I'm sure.
So
Yeah.
this reminds me of the story we talked about. Was it probably 3 years ago when the very last plant that was manufacturing VCRs stopped making VCRs? And the question was, wait, they're making VCRs? I had the same reaction when I saw this. I had no clue that the Sling box in its traditional form still existed, let alone was being manufactured. I can understand if they had, a warehouse full that they were trying to get rid of if you became like a YouTube premium subscriber, but seriously.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, if you think back of when it was, because I knew a consultant that had this. He bought
Oh
it
yeah.
early on, and you know, back then we were traveling consultants and all, and it was pretty cool for him to be able to play his cable television on his laptop, while
It
he was
was
away from home,
revolutionary.
right? And that was kind of like a streaming service, so to speak, before there were streaming
Yes,
services, right?
exactly.
So, I mean, you could probably make a fair argument, right, that this kind of ushered in the streaming devices like we know it now.
Oh, absolutely. And I didn't didn't have intention of discounting the product. I'm just
No,
surprised that they were still making them.
right.
Okay,
But
other
I mean,
products that come out.
it's. I mean, I'm just saying this is, what kind of brought it all in. But to your point,
Sure.
Clyde, yeah, fast forward to today, 15 years later, right? When they're streaming service, what, 100 and something streaming services now? Yeah, this is a bit out of date now, right? So I'm like you, I'm a little surprised that it was still going.
Well,
right?
the funny thing though is we're finally to the point with technology and bandwidth caps that it would actually make sense to use this device, but nobody wants it anymore.
No,
Because
I mean,
before I could sit in line at the amusement park waiting for the roller coaster and watch content streamed to my phone from my home, but the problem was I was paying for like every bit that I used data wise, so it didn't make any sense. Now it makes perfect sense to do it, but I don't need to because I've got other sources to get that
Right.
content.
yeah, you can stream Netflix on your smartphone.
So,
right?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
goodbye, Slingbox. You will be missed by someone.
Yeah, someone somewhere will be like, "Oh man," but they've got 2 years to figure this out.
If we hear where the wake
It's
will
okay.
be held, we'll put out that information on the Discord server.
Sure, absolutely. Hey, did you know Creative Labs still exists?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know that they don't just make sound cards?
Wait. I think they make stuff like this.
What in the world is that?
This is the Creative Stage Air. It is my
Oh.
under monitor soundbar that I use for everything.
Oh, cool. Guess what? They've made a new version of the Creative Stage, the non-air version. They apparently had an older version for the Creative Stage.
Yep.
It's the Creative Stage V2, and it is been updated with some new features, like some of their virtual surround, and for their ability to do some of like the digital audio cleanup or whatever. Those creative guys, their marketing for creative is off the wall. But they've announced their new version of this soundbar, which is going to be on sale for about $110, and it'll work both with PCs and TVs everywhere. So, looking for.
I saw this before the story. I saw this over the weekend. I was on their website because I was getting ready to buy the Creative Stage Air. I got this over the summer because I read there. I wasn't happy with my speakers that I had on my computer. I was looking for something else, and they marketed this as a soundbar under monitor soundbar, right?
Mm-hmm.
It also has a battery built in, so right now you'll see it's still powered up. I've taken it out on the deck and played my phone through it. It sounds great.
Okay.
This was $35.
Okay.
That's $35 I ever spent, and I had originally seen the Creative Stage. That's basically this with a subwoofer.
Oh. Okay.
Which is $89, but I figured, well, I'll give this one a try since it's also portable, before I waste my money on the Stage Air or this regular Stage. And this thing, it's probably it sounds better than my dedicated PC speakers I had before. And like I said, I've gotten to the point where I like the sound of this so much that I was going to go get the Creative Stage with the subwoofer, and that's when I saw that this is available on their website. And the price, it's $20 more for the new one. It's got actual Sound Blaster chips built into it for the DAC and whatnot. So it's going to sound better than what this already does. And
All right.
it's got an improved subwoofer, I think slightly bigger speakers, all for $20 more than the one I was already going to buy. So the only complaint I think anyone will have with it is that I believe the V2, the subwoofer is still wired. A lot of the soundbars out there have gone to wireless.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to use this on your PC and you've got room on the floor for a subwoofer, that should be no problem. Who cares? But if you're like me and you need to put the subwoofer on a different side of the room, not so great. It's the whole reason my big subwoofer isn't connected, because I don't want to pull up the carpet to run the wires, because that's the only way I'm going to get them to the other side of the room in this the way this house is configured. So, yeah. Check it out. If you didn't know, Creative Labs, you just get their stuff directly on their website. They're constantly having sales. They don't really get sold anywhere else. I was lucky. I found this Air at, they just happen to have it at Micro Center, but they don't typically carry much Creative Labs. Sorry, it's not Creative Labs anymore. I'm so used to saying Creative Labs. It's just Creative.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got speakers, they've got sound cards, they've got headphones. This stage 2, hopefully I'll have a review for you guys here soon.
That'd be cool.
It seemed on the surface, based on what I've experienced with this, $100. It's a steal. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, creative nostalgia from,
See, and Creative always
all
made my favorite computer speakers I ever had. They were Creative, and I tried to replace them, and I've never found anything as good as they were.
I always found their stuff to be, high end, but at the same time, I think it's their software I hated. I think I hated their software. That was the one I didn't like. So.
I will say the one thing that was a big disappointment was the very first CES I went to. Creative was there, and if you took a picture and did a tweet with their product, they were giving out their high-end in-ear headphones. They were like metal, they were shiny, they were awesome, they sounded great, but they had a huge flaw.
Battery life was 20 minutes.
No, these were regular, they weren't wireless.
Wired.
They were regular earbuds.
Okay.
There's something in the electrical shielding. I kept getting a little electrical zaps right on the inside of my ear. Like, like when you shuffle your feet and you touch somebody. I would get that, but a lot. And I couldn't use them. It's like, this sucks.
I have had that experience with earbuds in my phone and like taking off my jacket, my coat, and the static electricity zaps up the cord to my ears.
Yeah, because of the metal. I think it was because of the metal housing,
the coils, and the housing.
But I mean, the headphone itself had a shiny metal housing, which made them look fancy, and it made them conductive to my ears,
and made them hurt.
It did.
Creative Labs sounds so good. It'll make your ears bleed.
If that's a super creative way to make a headphone. So true to the name.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
Hey, just so you guys know, if you were interested in seeing the movie Tenet, which is the movie that Peter Nolan. Who's Peter Norton?
I don't know.
Christopher Nolan. Peter Norton. Did he make a movie? That would be a really boring movie. I gotta say, But anyways, Christopher Nolan made Tenet and was working really hard at trying to reboot the entire theater industry, but with his big blockbuster movie hit, trying to make millions of dollars in order to, but was dealing with the restricted environment that the pandemic has given us. That he had been pushing it back and back and back and trying to get it to be released. He finally did get it released in theaters earlier this year. With releases in specific cities where restrictions were not as bad, and with certain theaters with certain rules, and able to get it, but it never made a lot of money. I think it made over 50 million, but not much more, which is really dismal, quite frankly. And Tenet is now going to be available for you to watch at home or on Blu-ray or DVD or with digital purchases on December 15th. So finally, if you were curious what all the talk about Tenet will be all about, if you haven't been able to get out to the theater to see it, you'll get your chance.
I have no interest, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think Christopher Nolan shot himself in the foot on this one, because he sent the message out to the people that would watch it saying, you're not good enough. You have to wait until I say it can be seen. You're not good enough to see it now. And then finally, okay, will you please watch my movie? No.
Well, did you check out the prices of the DVDs and the Blu-ray?
Well, it's going to be $45 for the Blu-ray.
Definitely no.
And $36 for the Ultra 4K Ultra Blu-rays will be 45, and then the regular Blu-rays and the DVDs will be 36
you get the
and
combo
29
pack for $45, right? That's the DVD and the Blu-ray.
I'll get 3 copies of The Greasy Strangler and give them out for Christmas instead.
And that's my point. I think even at that price, if that's going to be the digital cost pricing, it probably will be. I'll just wait till it gets cheaper, because if you wait long enough, it'll be even less, right?
It'll be on HBO or Showtime or something like that.
I'd say by spring, you'll probably find a copy of it at a yard sale.
Yeah. I mean, if depending on where you buy your movies from, and I'll get it when it goes like on the 99-cent rental, right? And then you can watch it that way. I mean, it does seem like it's a good movie, right? The movie quality seems to be fine.
Oh yeah.
Right? But I mean, I do want to watch it, but I'm not going to pay that price for it.
And Nolan movies tend to be, those, psycho thrillers that make you think about, they tend to be decent. Is it this good? I don't know. I don't know if it'd be worth it. We'll see what happens when it comes. Well, I'd like to see it eventually. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, me as well. Although, to Clyde's point, they played that cat and mouse game, with like, oh, are we going to release it for at-home viewing, or we're going to release it?
Well, he was adamant that no, absolutely no home viewing.
Right.
The people weren't important enough. The people that wanted to watch it. Nope, sorry, you have to go to a theater. Right. People said, I don't want to go to a theater. So
no, nobody had to, and he released it, and nobody went. So there you go. Yep. It's all good. It's how
when it drops down to about $3 to rent it, I'll get interested then.
Yeah, I will say I had very little interest in the movie to begin with. I have absolutely no interest now. So, but I was probably never going to watch it anyway. I can't think of a single Christopher Nolan movie I've ever really liked.
You didn't like the Batman series?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Stadia has announced that if you are using Stadia for your purchased games, or you're using Stadia Pro for streaming the claimed games that you get through Stadia Pro, you are now able to share your games, whether they be purchased or the one just claimed, to other members of your family group. You can then allow them access to games that you have access to using your account. This is a really cool feature of being able to have many more of your family members in your household be able to log in with their accounts and try out those games that you purchase. This is a step in the right direction.
All I have to say is, Wabbit, buy a bunch of games and let me play them.
Are you on Wabbit's family account?
Yeah, we're a family. Didn't you know that?
Gotcha. Well, I did not know that. That's awfully nice. Okay.
Yeah, we go.
Okay, here's the story. I have not read anything about this story. Netflix is testing a over-the-air style, just constant coming at you television channel. You know, the kind of thing where you can't choose what's being turned on. It's just coming at you constantly, and they're trying it out in France. That means that they're going to be offering a version of their service where you will be able to select a channel of the various shows that are available on Netflix, and they will provide you a linear television style feed of various of various shows from Netflix for you, because everything old is new again. I don't know.
Yeah,
Does this make sense to anybody?
yeah, it does. I think it's free sample marketing is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me.
They had talked about or they had been discussing their desire to do something like this for a couple years. I remember, I think the first time we really heard about it was back in 2018. And it's cool to see that it just happened, or that it's happening now. And I would say it's no coincidence that it's happening at the same time as they're getting rid of the free trials.
So this is the trial thing that's being streamed, is what you're saying.
So what I'm saying is basically it would serve as a trial, because you're not going to get to watch entire seasons, but you'll be able to get enough content that makes you go, oh crap, I want to see the rest of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, I mean, it's to. I'm sure what they're going to be doing is showing off the Netflix originals.
Yeah.
Right. And letting people see what the content's all about to get them to subscribe. Right. So that's what this is. And I would imagine, since they're doing it in France,
I don't think that's what this is. I think this is actually, you go into your Netflix and you go ahead and say, I wish to go to the You Feed Me, and you actually have a selected of channels, or at least one channel right now, where you turn it on and you're being fed stuff, and you can't hit pause, and you can't hit rewind, and they choose what to watch. They're giving you what they think you want to watch next. It's like a standard over the air channel is, and this is not a trial thing.
I apologize. I misread something. I thought they were also making this available without logging in, this channel. So you could access it while you were logged in, but you could also check it out if you weren't logged in. I was thinking of a different
story. You can't access without an account already?
No, there was a story where they were like a 2-day stream-a-thon.
There's thing that, but I was thinking these two things were actually
the same.
But okay. I remember at one, and we'll talk about it in the after show.
Sure.
This isn't what I was thinking, but still, I mean, this is fine for people that just want something on.
Well, famously, Brian Brushwood says he wants he wants somebody to be his Sherpa and tell him exactly what kind of thing he wants to see.
Okay,
and this is them providing him with hey, here's what we think you want to see, and when one's done, we're going to feed you the next thing.
Yeah,
and who knows?
I too saw it like Clyde. I thought it was like a free sample kind of thing, right? But yeah. So I guess, because Netflix does have a lot of content, right? So I guess this is for somebody who doesn't want to search through the content, and that kind of thing.
Right.
And just like, hey, just show me something.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And that's what it's for.
Absolutely.
Okay. Hey,
I won't watch it.
So let's say you're an Apple user. I know. Not going to happen. I know, Jimmy, you are already. Let's say that you want to use Stadia on your Apple phone. Did you? Okay. You might remember a story where we said that Apple is not allowing Stadia to be available on the Apple devices because they are not getting their cut of the profits. So a fan-made, aka free, aka zero cost application has been created called Stadium. which has been put onto
I
the
wonder
App
what it
Store.
does.
Oh, it's a browser which allows you to access Stadia. And so it's a absolutely free, not in any way associated with Google, way of accessing Google's service and stream games on the over it using an on-screen controller and things like that. Apparently, they have some issues with Bluetooth controllers and things like that. But yes, this is a way around the Apple tax for you to use Stadia on your streaming device. Then similar news to this is apparently it's possible for you to get the GeForce Now app, which is also free, and use that to play Fortnite, which means it's another way for you to get around things to play games that are not normally available on your Apple
Without
device.
jailbreaking your phone.
Correct.
So I guess this story is that it's back in the store. It got pulled for a while.
It did. Oh yeah.
So
let me show my ignorance here. But couldn't you already use this on a regular browser on a smartphone already?
Nope. Apple wouldn't allow the Stadia in Safari, I think it is.
Correct. Apple
So
was
then-
basically
so then-
going.
so
No.
then just download the Google app. The Google browser.
Apple was somehow stopping it from happening through the Google app as well. I don't know how. I don't know why.
And that's the whole reason
know
that
why.
this app got pulled from the Play Store, is it was allowing that.
And
in the
how
first
did they
place.
get? I don't understand how it's been able to get back.
I don't know either. All I know is I have a feeling that this guy his next stop is to Google headquarters saying, "Hey, here's my portfolio, and this is why I should be working for you."
Well, should be hired by the programming team or the legal team? Which one do you think?
I think they would need to get permission from the legal team to hire him for the program.
That's probably true. That's pretty fair. That's fair. I suspect he somehow is threading the needle because he's making a free app and he's not associated. I think
Exactly.
that's the secret sauce that he's.
But the
basically
fact
doing
that he
here.
was able to do it should be enough
Right.
of a resume booster to get
Did you say-
Google's attention.
Did you say that the app is not there currently?
Stadium should be there. Stadium, the app.
About the Google Stadia.
Stadium, it might be there, but it will not let you stream any games. Correct. It might be there and let you browse the games and things like that, but it will not allow you to play the games or purchase games. So
Okay. I don't know.
this is a continuation of this crazy world where Apple's going to have to figure out what, to be okay with streaming services, or they're going to have to figure out behind the
Yeah.
scenes, we'll give you 5% or something.
Yeah, the
Somewhere,
whole
somehow,
thing
this
with
is
the
gonna happen.
Fortnite was that Fortnite said, "Screw you, we don't want to pay your tax."
Right.
And so they were blocked. So this Stadium app also lets you play that. So either way,
I see.
uh,
I don't know.
That's okay. It's what it is. We're just going to have to deal with all these different streaming services and see who is able to figure this out.
you walk
That's-
a tightrope.
Yeah, for a while at least, until Apple changes the rules again. All right. Apple Music is making a change to their interface, which is making a more focus on your personalized
Who
playlist.
is?
Not Apple Music. Apple Music is doing something. I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. I didn't see any stories about Apple Music this week. YouTube Music is putting
Oh.
more focus on your personalized playlist. Apologies. We were just looking at the Apple story, so my apologies. What they're doing is being able to making it so you can see up to 7 of your My Mix playlists and being able to make them more prominent on your home screen. But this is them basically, and are also they're working on making the YouTube interface for YouTube Music a little bit more user friendly, including a section here where it's mood oriented tabs where you can go for focus, workout, relax, commute, allowing you to have a better access to those kinds of playlists that make sense for you. So
I gotta say, I am not impressed with YouTube Music so
I
far.
have to say that I am happy that they are working hard on it because it needs the work.
And the reason that I say that is the only times I've ever used it were through Android Auto. Android Auto is a companion piece. It should be seamless. It should work on your own proprietary platform, software, whatever. iHeartRadio and Spotify and
Right.
all the others have been great on Android Auto for years.
Right.
YouTube Music, it barely functions on Android Auto. So that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Get your ducks in a row, then come back to me and tell me why I should care.
Yeah. The only thing I can say about this is what I've seen my daughter do, right?
Mhm.
So her generation, apparently, right? I don't know. Maybe they use YouTube Music. I don't know. But what I see my daughter do, she just goes to YouTube,
Yep.
types in the music that she wants to listen to, and just listens to it through YouTube.
See,
Right.
and yeah, and that was why we had that story. Was it last week or the week before? Because even though YouTube Music is essentially the Google Spotify, there is tendrils connecting it to YouTube. So if you were one of those people that looked for music on YouTube, it was showing up in your YouTube Music results.
And then they added
And
the
I
filter
don't
to
need
turn that
10
off.
hours of Nyan Cat while I'm driving, or do I? Crap. I think I might need that 10-hour Nyan Cat. I mean, I did put the 2-hour
No.
Baby Shark on when I was
Oh.
on, my kids were captive.
You are evil.
I am. And I have a high tolerance for that kind of thing, especially if it's me that's doing the tormenting.
Oh,
But
yeah, okay.
yeah, I don't know. Well, I'll check back in eventually, but so far I don't think it's great.
All right. So, T-Mobile has announced that they are very much expanding their current LTE home internet service. It was very few spots that you could go and call them and say, "Hey, I'm interested in getting my home internet through for the 4G LTE that you guys have available." But for where you could get it, it was a $50 a month. Nike brings its self-lacing
I'm
adapter
super
tech to the church.
confused. Go back to. I'll explain here in a second.
I'm confused too, just so you know. But no, they provide you with a 4G service to your home with a router that connects to the 4G internet over the air and provides your home with unlimited internet access for $50 a month. Which for many people who have trouble finding internet where they live, or their options are, close to crap as anything else is, this was an excellent option if it was available in your area. Well, they've expanded it to 130 new cities, mostly in Michigan, Minnesota, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Dakota, West Virginia, and Wisconsin. So if you're living in one of those areas, and we're hopefully to find some good internet access in those areas, there you go. They're actually they are going to be sending this out to a lot more areas soon. Hopefully, as this is still considered what they would be a pilot program for them. They're hoping to have this into more areas in the next year.
So this was something that they needed to get moving on, because Starlink opened up their beta basically to anyone that's in an area.
Actually, I could attest.
I said
to that.
basically, but basically anyone that's in a supported area, right?
Yes, but I have a friend of mine who lives in a supported area, and he's been begging to get on, and he still hasn't got an account.
Okay. Well, but they just opened up that.
Yeah.
That is what
Couple
I'm
weeks
saying.
now.
T-Mobile's had, what, a year and a half?
Basically. And they hadn't moved until now.
Yeah, exactly. And so they needed something to threaten them. I checked my address right before the show, and it looks like it's available.
Oh, really?
I don't know what the speed is.
It's not going to be any better than if you got a high-speed LAN connection.
Yeah,
but if you don't have a
I'm
good connection,
debating whether or not I want to try it. The network engineer in me says, "Oh hell no."
Oh, the network engineer, you should say, "Oh hell yes," as a backup.
Well, no, I as a secondary, but can I justify the expense of a secondary I don't need?
$50 a month
for $50 a month, you know. But
T-Mobile prides itself on no contracts, right? So you could spin it up anytime you wanted, right?
Potentially, yeah.
I don't know if this one would be a no contract solution. I am pretty certain it's not a call them up and get it on in the next hour solution. Even if you had the hardware, I don't know if what that would look like.
Yeah, I will say it went to the website. It was pretty easy, except so you can go through. You put in your address. I will give them credit that they don't make you give them your email right off the bat, because I always hate that. CenturyLink does that. Hey, do you want to check if we've got service at your address? Give us your email.
Give us your email.
And your phone number. Oh, okay. Sorry, we don't have service at your address, but we are going to bombard you with emails. But once you get through and it tells you that, yes, you do have service in your area, it takes you to a contact form where you give them your info and then they will contact you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Which is fine. But there isn't like a quick log in and set up an account portal. So I'll probably end up trying this at some point.
Okay.
Even if it's just for my guest network.
So on the Engadget, it's saying that the speeds are to be somewhere right around the 50 megabits per second.
Yeah. And but what I was saying is, for me, the speeds are fine. I'm just saying, for me, I don't see myself trusting that circuit to host this show anytime soon.
Correct.
While theoretically it could probably be done, I'm not going to take the risk. Maybe for a special episode.
Streaming to you live.
Sponsored by T-Mobile. That way, if it goes bad, then everybody knows whose fault it was.
That's fair.
But if it goes good, they get all the credit. It's a gamble.
50 megabits per second now, and then they're saying by 2024 that they expect that to jump up to 100 megabits. So, not bad.
So, yeah.
I mean, for wireless, I mean, hey, that's pretty good.
No, that's very good.
Yep.
Hey, so Microsoft has been doing their Project X Cloud. This is their ability for you to do Xbox streaming of games from the cloud to your device. Particularly, it's been available to go to your Android phones. So it has been available for some people in the United States for a while now, and they are introducing more countries into their testing program, where you can now get it available to you if you are in Australia, Japan, Brazil, or in Mexico. So this means more people are going to be able to try out the Xbox xCloud streaming service for yourself. All you need to do is register and request to see if you can get an invitation.
This is good, but that's such a horrible name. It's such a horrible name. It sounds like a chemical weapon or a biological weapon.
Well, so the official name is Xbox Cloud Gaming.
Yes.
It was called Project X Cloud internally.
Yeah, and xCloud is just terrible.
Yes, the Xbox.
Yeah, see, this was once a thriving community until the xCloud wiped everybody out.
I mean,
there are worse names.
To me, Xbox Cloud sounds like a strip place. I mean, I don't know. To me, that's what it sounds like. But yeah.
Yeah, but cool. They've got some way, they got a ways to go to catch up to Stadia, but not that far.
In some ways, they're probably going to be better than Stadia because they're going to have so many games.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's available on their
That's what I was saying.
their
Stadia's
bundle
got
services.
a little bit of a lead on them, but it's not like miles.
No,
So.
it's going to be they're going to be right next to each other. You're going to be able to sit them next to each other and go, well, this one is just a tad better, but you know what? They're both very good.
And
that's
plus,
good.
Microsoft already has a built-in audience.
Yes,
fanboys unite.
Indeed, that's true.
You know that that anxiety and that stress that you feel when you have to leave the house and you are away from your Xbox. Well, guess what? You can take it with you with Xbox Cloud Gaming. Stream on your phone. It's the next best thing to Xbox.
I've never felt
this side
this
of a
anxiety.
PS5.
I've never felt this anxiety, this feeling that you're speaking of. Never have.
No, that's the marketing for the fanboys. You're not one of them, like me.
No,
my Xbox. 6 months ago, I found out, or actually last winter, I found out the DVD ROM stopped spinning, and it's just sat there on the shelf.
Oh.
The same as it's sat on the shelf for the last couple years that I haven't played it. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, and last story is a PSA. Yes, apparently YouTube was down for about an hour ago, and it is back up now. But yes, for a little bit. If you came to the show to watch it with us tonight because you're like, there ain't nothing else to watch, why are YouTube's down? We understand. And thank you for coming to watch with us. YouTube is back up. You can go back to your regular scheduled programming.
I actually ran into this before the show. I was looking at product reviews for a tablet, and I watched one of them, and I realized this is kind of a terrible video. I backed up to the search results. I clicked on the next one, and it just spun. And I was like, I've never seen this before. And I was watching an anime in my other monitor, and it was looking a little grainy, streaming quality. So I thought, oh, maybe it just got internet issues, because that seems to be a thing on Wednesdays. Mediacom.
Thanks, Mediacom. Jeez.
And I did my normal troubleshoot, and I couldn't get it to work. And it just finally said, whatever. Nope, apparently YouTube was broken.
For like everybody.
It happened right after I started that one video that was playing that was already buffered and cached. Because I went back to that other video to see, hey, wait, this one plays, but why doesn't this one play? And I can't get this other one to play. YouTube, you dropped the ball.
Aw,
It's been
really
over 10 years, and you've been down like 4 times. Unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Wow. Your standards are quite high.
No,
sir.
they were actually as the guy pointed out in the story. He said it wasn't even until the G Suite outage back in August that he noticed that they don't even have a server reporting page.
Yep, not for YouTube.
Nope, they don't. And it's one of those things that just always worked. So
it's just
why would
never
you even
been
think about it?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, somebody somewhere clicked the wrong button and broke things. You realize that. That's what happened. YouTube, somebody somewhere is in trouble.
Yeah. That's why you don't do maintenance during the workday.
Yeah,
but unfortunately for YouTube, it's always the work day.
It's the work day.
All right, but you may not do maintenance during the work day, but the one thing that we always do is say thank you to the people that support this show, to the patrons, to our most favoritist of viewers and You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.
If you are like them and you see some sort of value in what we do here each week, and you would like to provide a little bit of support, you name the number. No offer will be refused, and you will get our heartfelt thanks as well. And don't worry, if you're only doing it to get the custom RSS feed and get the podcast version a couple days earlier, so then you don't have to sit here and look at me, that's fine. I won't hold it against you. I'll take your money.
We have faces made for radio.
Apparently, it's been pointed out that the show is better as audio. And that's perfectly fine.
That works for us.
If that's your motivation, I'm not ashamed to take the money. But no, as we were saying though, but seriously, we appreciate all of you that support us every month. You make this possible, and we're actually to the point where it's almost self-sustaining. I'm not paying for as much stuff out of my pocket anymore, so I'm happy about that. Cool. But yeah, that's patreon.com/thebod squad. We appreciate all of you and look forward to more of you in the future.
Indeed.
All right, let's get into some rants and some raves. Okay, rants, raves. What do you got?
Do you know what this is?
No.
What does it look like?
Do you put coffee in it?
No.
So it's an egg poacher.
Oh, that's the thing that you put the eggs in when you're gonna paint them for Easter, and then you dip them in the vat and they all come out uniform color.
No.
Oh,
this is a hard drive tray.
What's a hard drive?
A hard drive tray, which is this is for a Synology NAS, which I recently purchased, and it's actually sitting right next to me.
Okay.
This is what's supposed to be inside of a hard drive tray.
Hard drive.
Correct. Very good. You get a gold star for the day. What's not in this hard drive tray?
Hard drive.
Yes, correct.
Did they sell you an expensive NAS with no hard drive?
No, I bought this NAS with no hard drive, but I also bought 2 Seagate Iron Wolf hard drives. And these Iron Wolf hard drives are designed to be in a NAS. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, I want to get one that I won't have to upgrade in a while. So I wanted to be a pretty big drive, but I also don't want something that's, going to be too expensive. And so I waited and watched for deals. And finally I found a 6 terabyte drive available, Seagate Iron Wolf NAS 6 terabyte for $200, if I remember correctly. And I bought 2 of them, which is expensive. I mean, that's a lot that's a lot of money and so I got it and I plugged them in, and one of the 2 drives was, working fine. The other one was like making horrible noises. So
you know the fix for that, you just hit the side of the thing and then it stops growling like Chewbacca.
No, I then took the hard drive out and I sent it back to the guys who I bought it from. Sent it to the retailer and said, this drive, it's not working. They accepted it in return and sent me a replacement. Thank you guys. So I got a new one back. I plugged it in. It mirrored the drives because it's a true drive. It's a RAID 1, and it mirrored it just fine, no problem. And then a couple weeks later,
Chewbacca.
That same drive wouldn't even spin up correctly. This
is going to be so great for the audio listeners.
I know. It's great. And I was upset.
Oh, yeah.
Because the second drive that failed, that I just unplugged it. Because, by the way, the Synology NAS beeps.
Yeah.
And there's no way from the from looking at the box of making the beeping stop, you have to go into the interface to stop the beeping. But it was like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning when it started beeping, and I was not awake. So I just turned it off and left it unplugged, and I have had it unplugged for like a month. I finally got around to saying, okay, I got to plug this thing in and figure out what's going on. I've just sent it in. This time I went directly to Seagate. Seagate said, "Oh, sure, we'll replace it for free, or you can have expedited for a charge." And it's like, okay, I got it expedited. They send me a drive that I send one back in, so I have to pay a little extra for that. But I'm just going to do the free option. Okay, you have to pay shipping. Okay, fine. So I box it up, send it in, and it should be there next week, and then they should take them a week or two for them to decide, yes, the hard drive was bad, and then send it back to me for another week. So it's going to be another month.
Did they confirm that the first one was bad?
No. See, that one I confirmed, and I talked with Newegg, who I purchased it from.
Newegg.
And Newegg Newegg was happy to say, yeah, we'll just send you another one.
My question stems from just the basic troubleshooter in me. Says if it was the replacement hard drive in the same bay as that was you had a problem before.
Good point.
How do we know that it's not actually the Synology doing something like not giving it enough power, or
too much or whatever,
or too much or something? Is that only a 2-bay?
It's a 2-bay, but it is using. It's not using standard level 1 RAID. It's using the Synology SHR, which is their hybrid RAID,
so
which allows me to.
You couldn't even swap the drives if you
I probably couldn't if I wanted to, unfortunately. But if a third drive in that bay starts causing problems, that is an interesting thought. I will definitely be bringing that up with Synology at that point, saying I've killed 3 drives.
Question: did you buy the Synology new, or did you get it used from somebody?
Brand new from Newegg.
So then, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll call them and I'll yell at them and say, I've killed 3 $200 drives in this thing. Please do something about it. And I bet you anything that Seagate will send me a refurbished drive.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to tick me off.
And one thing, I'm just going to put this out there. Everybody should do this. When you get a brand new hard drive, you take it out of the shrink wrap, you plug it into a computer. The very first thing you should do is do a format recovery. You find all kinds of crazy stuff on there. Like the first couple times I did it, I thought they sent me a refurbished drive because it was full of like what looked like vacation photos. There were people like posing at the beach and different things, and then I realized, oh no, it was probably whoever was doing, because they have to do write tests.
Yeah, they probably threw a bunch of pictures on it.
They were probably just using their own files
and then erasing it.
Yeah. But it was, and so it became tradition. Anytime I got a new hard drive, I would run what is it, Tom's or whatever what's the company that does the hard drive recoveries? They had their
there
own
are many
software. No, the big one that everybody always advertised.
Discoyer?
No, there was a different one. But either way, it became habit. I would just run it because then I'd go through and see all kinds of ridiculous stuff that you never knew was, or that nobody was supposed to know was there. Do it. Oh. It's fun.
Okay. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I don't know if I'm going to do that to my drive. All I know is that I've been wanting to use this as a backup. I would have been wanting to use this as running my Plex server. I'm still running Plex on my old Linux box, and I want to move my Linux box down here so I can do streaming from it instead of from my laptop. And I also want to use it because I get 2 camera licenses built in with it, and I bought a couple of POV cameras. I'm going to put them around my house to save to this thing. So all those things I want to do with it that I can't reliably do with the one hard drive. It is currently running with one hard drive, and it's seems to be working, but I will feel a lot better once I get a second drive in there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, and the company I was thinking of was On Track.
on track. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a commercial version that I may or may not have acquired when I worked for CompUSA, because that's what we used to do the hard drive recoveries for
Maybe.
saving people's software and
Maybe.
files from clicking and growling hard drives. All right, Jimmy, you got anything?
Yes, Clyde, I have a movie for you.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's one, I don't know, maybe you saw this already, but I caught it over the weekend.
Was it the new Tremors movie, Shrieker Island?
No,
Oh,
but
because
kind
I
of,
did
kind of.
catch that, and wow, Michael Gross is looking old, but he's
So,
still running around.
so have you ever heard of a movie called The Dead Don't Die?
I've heard of it. My friend went
Yeah,
and saw it in the theater. That was
yeah.
about a year ago.
So it's on HBO. So if you
Okay.
have HBO
Yeah,
Max, you can watch it there.
sure.
And it stars Bill Murray, Adam Driver, right? They're
I
in
didn't
this
know Bill
movie.
Murray was in it. Otherwise, I
Yeah,
probably would have watched it.
yeah. Bill Murray's in it. Adam Driver.
Mhm.
Adam Driver is the Skylar, Loren in the Star Wars movie, right?
Yeah.
Um, so it's starring those two guys. It's a zombie movie.
Okay.
I guess I'll
Yeah.
give that much away, right? But it's really funny. It's kind of a comedy, right?
Okay.
Kind of thing.
That
And
sounds like it's right up my alley.
yeah, and when I was watching it the whole time, I was like, man, I got to talk about this on the next podcast. Clyde's really going to like this, right?
Okay.
So that's my what I want to rave about this week, right? Is the Dead Don't Die on HBO.
Cool. I'll definitely check that out. Uh, I had planned on raving about how I picked up a 55-inch TCL 4K for $149 or $48 from Walmart today. And it was not for lack of availability, because I figured it was going to be up for a minute and be completely sold out, as with time sales usually are. Nope, it was up for 15 minutes before they said, hey, we got to check stock, wait for everybody's unpurchased shopping carts to clear out so they can resell them. And they did it 3 more times, and each time it was up and available. My bank account said no. So I had to skip it. So I am going to rant, or I will kind of rant about, there's a movie. I rewatched a movie I hadn't seen in a really long time last night called To Catch a Thief. Do you guys remember this movie? Alfred Hitchcock, starring
Yes.
Cary Grant, takes place in
Yes.
Cannes, France.
Been a long time since I saw that movie.
Yeah, same thing. I was flipping through and I went,
I'm trying to remember even what it was all about.
so basically, he was a cat burglar before World War II. He got in with the French Revolution, or with the French Resistance, and kind of after that went straight. But there's a whole bunch of robberies that fit his MO, so the police are after him because obviously it was you. I started watching, so I watched that last night while I was doing some other stuff, and my only complaint about the movie is half of the movie you don't know what anybody is saying. Because this is clearly one of those, because it takes place in France, right? And so most of the people are speaking French, as you would. Cary Grant does every once in a while, but it's one. There's a bunch of movies where they film it, and the actors are talking 2 different language, and then they just, like, when they show it in France, they just dub over the English, right? And normally they would dub over the French or put up subtitles, but there were no subtitles. So half of the movie, it's just someone ranting, and you're just like, okay. And then the thing that I thought was really funny was I noticed, so they made a point to let you know that everybody speaks French, that the Americans are the outsiders.
Mm-hmm.
Yet all of the newspapers in Cannes are in English. So that made me laugh. That made me laugh really hard when I saw that. But yeah, it was also the last movie that Grace Kelly made before she married that Monaco prince guy. And great movie. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
I would highly recommend it over the movie Nine Ball, which was absolute trash. It's not even bad. It's not even good enough for Movie Party.
Wow.
That was a movie. It was while I was setting up my pool table, I was flipping through. I said, hey, it sounds like a good movie to have on while I'm doing the leveling and getting everything set up. And I was like, oh, Jennifer Beretta's in it. She's hot. I like her. She's a pro pool player. Oh man. It was like somebody said it was like a Skinamax movie without any boobs. They were like, you take the terrible Cinemax movie and remove all the nudity. That's what that movie Nine Ball is. Don't. It even just listening to it was hard. So,
okay.
Wow.
You know what's not hard?
I'll try to forget that you even brought that up.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you'll probably, because it's on Amazon, it'll probably just show up somehow in a search. And if you see it, run away. Just run away. But we should also run away. It's that time that we should probably shut this down and thank everybody for joining us tonight. We love having you here. Even if you're someone that got banned from the chat, we still appreciate that you showed up because you become a statistic. You are counted as someone that was here and participated. So thank you. Just a reminder, we do this every Wednesday night here on Twitch, 9 p.m. Central. If you are one of the people that choose to watch after or listen after the fact, or watch on YouTube when it's not down, podcast is available at all places that podcasts are available, including Patreon, if you want a custom RSS feed a little bit early. But if you would like to come sometime, join in the festivities, submit some titles, which we are going to vote on here in the post show. Yes, you get to vote on titles, and there is a post show that you don't get when you partake after the fact.
Aww,
Whether
sorry.
or not it's worth you coming, that only you can decide. So join us sometime. On that note, I want to say thank you to everybody, and have a good night. Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there.
Indeed.
All right, I got to find this button. Bye.
Bye.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.